5, 6, 4, 2, 9, 8, 3, 1.
Hi guys, today I'm just going to do a quick video, pretty much about the Russian GP-21. So, first off, I mean, the design is pretty obvious. It's a obvious copy of the American MCU series masks. You see very similar design and layout of how, you know, you could, well, I mean, it's blatantly obvious it's a copy of, obviously, the American MCU series masks. However, this mask has quite a few improvements over it, one of them being the fact that it's not made of silicone. The MCU series uses silicone, you know, the mask was made out of silicone to help prevent, you know, allergic reactions on soldiers and so forth. So, I mean, silicone's slightly lighter, and I believe it's easier to mould as well. Obviously, less likely to have an allergic reaction. But the only problem with that is that the silicone is prone to being damaged by blister agents. So they had to come up with a solution, which was pretty much the second skin, and what it does is it just covers the whole mask to protect it, which I believe is made of butyl rubber. It's kind of counterproductive in a way, because you could just make the whole mask out of butyl rubber anyway, but you know, hey ho, pretty interesting nevertheless. So, but obviously this mask is made of a latex material. I'm pretty sure it's latex. I don't think it's butyl rubber, it might be, but I'm pretty sure it's made out of just latex. Again, there is quite a few improvements. One of them, which I'll go into, I might do a video on this, I'm really not sure, but the visor itself is extremely resistant to a lot of ballistic force, which is really surprising considering this is a civilian mask. It's mainly, you know, issued to certain civilians and so forth, because there is videos of the Russians and other Slavic people shooting this mask with buckshot, and I'm not joking. I'll link below the video. This guy's shooting his shotgun. I've seen other videos as well, people shooting them with buckshot and other shotgun rounds at, you know, 10, 5, 10, 20, whatever meters away, and surprisingly the visor just doesn't like damage the visor as such, causes very minor scratches. The mask obviously gets damaged, but it's nothing serious, and that is quite impressive considering this is a civilian mask. It's pretty interesting and quite impressive, to be honest. So that's one thing, again, improvement over. Another thing is, I mean, I don't know why, but I feel like the GP-21 is just more thought out in a lot of ways. I will give respect that the American MCUs have a drinking tube system. This does not, but for a civilian mask it's not a higher priority. You know, obviously if they wanted to, they probably could just develop this mask with a drinking tube system, but as far as I'm aware, I don't think they ever did. There might be prototypes probably of one with, but you know, there is a few. You know, they could easily, you know, design the mask with a drinking tube system, but nevertheless it's still a great mask. I mean, I was lucky to get this from a seller in Russia, because I've been trying to find one for a while for a good price, and I got it for a pretty good price. It was new and issued. What's good as well is Russia's quality is going up in terms of masks and like rubber quality and so forth. And another thing is, this was unissued and it didn't come coated in talcum powder, which is good, because talcum powder is a fucking pain in the arse to clean off. But yeah, I'll just go over a few things. I mean, I'll go over like parts of the mask. So interestingly, if you look, you can see straight away, if you look at the direct, you know, front of the mask, you've got the voice emitter assembly cover, as you can see there. which is similar to on the GP7 and MB180 face pieces, use this membrane cover, which is pretty interesting. You can take this apart. As you see, there's 4. I'll show you, I don't know if you can see that. There is 4. There are 4 notches, and you'd obviously have a certain key, or you could just get something that fit in it and then twist it, probably counterclockwise and so forth. I'm not going to do that in the video, but yeah. So that's one thing that they've recycled, and they've used certain parts and a few things from older masks, but that's, you know, not a bad thing. It kind of cutting costs and so forth. As you can see here, there is a XL valve cover. It obviously unscrews, but I'm not going to unscrew it because of the pain. But as you can see there is the second XL valve. You can see in there. You see in there. So underneath there's this, which is, I'm going to that in a minute. That's pretty interesting that I want to talk about. Again, the visor. Interesting, again, it's made of this really cool polymer material, and what's interesting that you can, the whole mask and lens, very flexible, which is quite cool. 2 things that are a bit strange. One is that this lip, it's a lip, it's obviously there for a purpose, and it might be for an MBC hood, but again, these aren't really military issue, these are just civilian and civil defence. Secondly, like I said, as you can see on the bottom of the mask, is this plug. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's to hold the oral nasal cup in, but again, they could maybe develop the mask in a different way so it could take a drinking tube system, but nevertheless, pretty interesting. What is also good is, like a lot of British respirators, like the FM12s, they have just a blanking port, but if you unscrew it, you know, you can use it immediately. You don't have to swap out parts like some of the US MCU series. Yeah, you can take a obviously filter on the left or right side depending on what handed you are, and just for whatever necessities you need. Obviously you can have both filters on both sides if you really wanted. It came with the standard EO18 filter, which is similar to the GP5 filters but slightly taller in dimensions and stuff. Again, you know, nothing too spectacular. So again, it's a pretty well designed. I mean, like I said, there's no real, I can't fault the mask at all, to be quite fair. I mean, the head harness as well is really nice material. It's not like the Russian Soviet GP7's head harness, which are horrific and rip your hair out. It's actually quite a lot better, much more supple. Again, there's a few markings on this. It's really strange because, as you can see here, if you can see that, there is the date stamp, if you can see that. Camera will focus on that. But if you can, hopefully you can see that. Hopefully you can see that. But yeah, it's an arrow pointing at 20. Because I believe it's dated 2020, because there's also another stamp. Yeah, there's another stamp, as you can see here on the side, with some manufactured markings. Size 2. And as you can see here, if it will focus, it's going to be pained focus. Yeah, if you can see there, that says that, if it's going to focus, if you can see that, it says 20, it's pointing an arrow at 2, so second quarter of 2020, so early 2020. Again, I'll show you the inside of the mask quickly actually. Again, there isn't, again too much to say about these masks. They're fairly new in terms of design. They've been around for quite a few years now, but they've only been around again for a few years. Inside the mask, it's got a decent oronasal cup, an intern peripheral face seal. Nothing too spectacular. Again, exhale valve at the bottom. You know, deflector. You know, valves, the oronasal cup. See there, the filter port on the side, on that side. Nothing too spectacular. Again, they're using older parts from the older membranes. So again, not a bad thing. Again, you know, quite well made. But to me, it was interesting. You can see they're actually the head harnesses on these. Camera focus is it's sort of riveted in, but it's plastic. But the rivets seem really well made, like quality-wise. They seem, you know, durable enough. Again, the harness is really much improved from the older variation. It's still a numbered system, but it's a lot more supple and better quality rubber, to be honest. So you know, at least they've improved in that aspect. Again, there's unfortunately not really much to say. You know, yeah. Again, I can't for what it is. You can't really fault the mask for what it is and for what it's used for. I'm going to quickly go over the bag again. The bag is really basic as fuck. Like, it's just a GP-7 style haversack that was issued. They just recycled them for cutting costs. Again, the bag is really basic. Nothing. Plastic buttons as well. You know, it's really basic. So there's a stamp there. Are you going to focus? There you go. But yeah, again, there's nothing too impressive inside it. It's just one. There is no real compartment. It's just one big compartment inside. If you can't see in there, but there's one. It's just one compartment. There's no inner pockets or, you know, it's really basic. So I mean, that's the only complaint, is the haversack. I mean, it's really basic. There's a waist strap stuff and a side pocket on the side, but that's just, again, for what it is, I can't really complain. I mean, the haversack is the only thing that could possibly I would improve, but that's honestly it. I mean, I honestly can't. Maybe include in a drinking tube, but that I can't really complain, again, for what it is. And the mask itself is quite well made. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, really, there's not much to say about these history-wise. You know, again, they're still being produced as well. Being produced in Tev Bob mesh, and you know, again, there's really nothing spectacular about this mouse, to be honest, other than it's quite a good modern respirator. I mean, that's honestly it. I mean, unfortunately, there isn't really much else to say. I would recommend it if you're a collector or just I don't know, into, you know, survivalist, I guess, because I mean, I know that obviously they take Ghost threaded filters, but if you look about, you can still find some modern ones. But for what it is, I can't complain, you know. But it is a pretty good mask, so yeah. So someone just like, sorry, there's some geezer just standing outside, just staring at the hedge. What a weird world we live in. Sorry, anyway. Yeah, overall it's a good mask. I recommend it to anyone, really. If you can find one for a good price, especially from Russia like I did, it came unissued. It had like a packing paper in the actual visor. Like I said, nothing spectacular. Nothing, you know. But yeah, like I said, it's a good mask. I recommend it to anyone who's interested in them. So yeah, I mean, hopefully that was a helpful video in some way. I haven't been uploading because I'm, you know, life. But yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe. Cheers, and I'll see you.